Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good. As usual, I'm awesome because we're diving back into that lab, man. Scouting report for Rome Odunze, wide receiver catchers of balls, because this talented group of wide receivers on the elite level trend, like an Odunze, like Malik Neighbors, they're so good and so talented. We got to get the big dogs out the way before we start going into like the sleepers and some of the value wide receivers. But Rome Odunze is definitely another one of my favorites out of this draft. Should be yours as well, because he is that good. Let's talk Rome Odunze, Washington Huskies. Sometimes it's easier to do these elite level talented prospects because they do look like they could be the sure thing. Sure, I'm not going to say absolute sure, but they are very good, very talented, and we can get excited about them because of what they were able to accomplish on the field in college football and could potentially be that and more in the NFL. Rome Odunze is definitely a fan favorite of mine. Let's talk those measurables. He stands 6'3", 212 at 21 years of age. Very good size, which you're looking for, comparable to a Marvin Harrison Jr. 40 games, 214 receptions, 32.72 in yards, 15.3 on the average, which is nice, and 24 receiving touchdowns. And let's get it out the way. Early on, we saw Daniel Jeremiah comp him to somebody like a Larry Fitzgerald. I got a different comp that I do see out of Rome Odunze, but I don't dislike the potential of suggesting it is Larry Fitzgerald-esque in certain categories. But let's talk some pros. He's got so many of them, man, and I do love his game. I think it's interesting what you're going to see, how he does grade out for me at the end of this process, but he is another elite level wide receiver prospect. Great size and frame. 6'3", 212, put together wide receiver at this point already coming into the NFL, and he's just going to be that much better as he gets into the NFL weight room and NFL program, man. Fluid running style. If you guys watch the combine on the gauntlet drill, he was just an absolute madman. Hugging that line, just looked like he was floating down that line, and it definitely translates on film as well when he runs his routes, when he makes those plays, and he does get open in the open field. So good in the running ability and in body control. We're talking, when you're talking elite level prospects, talents, whether it's going to be the running backs, whether it's going to be your wide receivers, you're looking for how they contort their body, how they're able to, maintain how their body is moving down the field. It's elite in my sense. For a Rome Odunze, technically sound. He is a playmaker, but not necessarily the full-on flash that everybody's looking for, like a Malik Neighbors, like a Marvin Harrison Jr., but he is a true form playmaking talent, and he is probably technically sound. I would even suggest to say better than the other two. He is that good in that sense. He's got build-up speed, but it's not necessarily elite, and I think we're nitpicky at this point in these processes because anything, above 4.4, you're talking, okay, it's fast, but it's not elite fast like somebody that runs a sub 4.4, but 4.45 is very good, and it's a lot of build-up speed. You see him getting down the field. He's able to at least get by guys. He's got more than enough to get down the field, and it's not a big concern to suggest he's not going to be able to be that wide receiver one on the outside getting down the field, because he does it very, very well. Very good play strength, and this is, I think, what gives him the benefit of the other wide receivers. While Marvin Harrison, I think, could add more weight and more strength, I think Odunze is absolutely here when it comes to that, when he is pushing off defensive backs, is finding ways to create separation that way. It is extremely good. Play strength will only improve for this man. Will it be a detriment to his speed? It could potentially be later on down the line, but I think his build right now is sound for the NFL, and it should be day one translated on the field. After the catch is strong and agile, and this is what you're looking for. He can do it anywhere. Versatile, man. Inside, outside, slots, screens. Whatever you're asking a Rome Odunze to do, he's able to do it, man. Slants, hooks, going deep, on the sevens, on the corners, on the drags. He can get the football and make plays in the open field. He is a precise route runner to me right now. The plant steps, the cut steps are so sharp. He does the head fake enough to get outside, inside, outside, however you want it. And the precise route running ability in a Rome Odunze is very strong, very good, and you do like that about it. Separation is created, like I'm saying, with the variety of moves that he does do. The arm push-offs, the double moves, the plant cuts. While it's not, say, on the flash trend where you're going to be like, wow, he made this guy miss on skates, It's not like that. It's just so technically sound that he's able to do this so very well that he does create the separation, generates it, and then is able to get open for his quarterback. In this sense, at Washington, it was for Michael Penix, and it was very good, very strong, very consistent, and I am absolutely over the moon when it comes to talking about his separation and his route abilities. Hands are absolutely elite, man, when you're talking about a wide receiver who's got the elite level trend hands, and that's why guys like Daniel Jeremiah are comping him to someone like Larry Fitzgerald, who can make one-handed grabs, contort his body, jump balls, back shoulder fades. You're talking over the shoulder. Whatever you're wanting Rome Odunze to do, he's able to make these catches because the hands are so good. Because the elite ball tracking ability also, hence why you're talking Larry Fitzgerald. He can get the ball in any aspect in the end zone. We see even highlight reels where he is catching one-handers in the end zone. He's so good in this respect, and you're going to understand that Rome Odunze is that good. For me, you're talking the NFL comp, it's in between, and I get it. We can suggest both. It is somewhat Larry Fitzgerald, but I like him as a better type of potential Keenan Allen. Not saying we can't compare him to pro players right now, but I do believe that this is where the line could eventually be. A better type of Keenan Allen type of wide receiver, where I do believe they do a lot of the things well. They do a lot of the things well, and I think it's very similar in stature and gameplay, however you want to say it. I do believe Keenan Allen's game does resonate with Rome Odunze quite a bit. And then you got in the end zone, I think this is where he is better than a Keenan Allen in the end zone, in red zone, how you contested catch ability. I think that Rome Odunze is that much better. But for some cons, everybody's got him in. Okay, the stop-start burst for me is just okay. Like I said, you're not going to see the electrician movements out there with the crazy burst and elusive ability that you're seeing from like your running backs, like type style, and guys like Malik Neighbors who can absolutely, make guys miss by just one cut and then burst away. His stop-start burst is just okay for me. It's good enough to get around defensive backs. It's good enough to get around defenders, but it's just okay. It's not a big inhibitor, but it is okay, not great. Not a field burner. It's more build-up speed. So he's not going to scare anybody down the field with that elite-level speed, but he is able to get down and beat and pass all of it. I was trying to combine two words. Beat and pass his defensive backs down the field. It's not with ease. He's going to struggle at times versus faster defensive backs, but he's able to at least get open because his route tree is that refined. I do like that about him, but he's not going to scare anybody with the field burning ability. Can he get around guys and make big plays down the field? Absolutely. We see it from Keenan Allen. We saw it from Larry Fitzgerald. This is what you're getting from Rome Odunze without question, man. He does take some unnecessary hits, and I don't like that because he is so active when he is in the open field trying to get that yak ability, that yak yards. He does take unnecessary hits. It's okay sometimes, Rome, to go down and fight for another day. This will prolong your longevity and durability in the NFL. I want to see some of those hits getting taken out, but I understand, on the screen plays, he's going, initiating contact, looking for contact, instead of trying to at least evade the tacklers a lot of the time, he's trying to go in that pile. So you do want to see those hits get pulled back just a little bit because a lot of wear and tear and punishment will be had on a Rome Odunze. He can round off his routes at times. I've seen this, don't necessarily like it, but his route tree is so good that he's able to do it, and you don't even necessarily see it half the time. But I was really pinpointing on his route tree quite a bit, and you see the round offs from time to time. It's something that's a habit you want to suggest, and something that can definitely be coached out of his game based on how the coaching does find his route tree. There will be a lot more, magnified, attention to detail, I guess is the best way I can put it, attention to detail, but I have no question that it's definitely going to improve in the NFL. He can't misjudge scramble plays at times in the wrong position. We've seen it when Penix is trying to move out of the pocket, and then Rome is trying to, maybe that's just a chemistry issue between him and the quarterback, but I think as he does grow, he's going to understand field awareness that much better to get open in the, zone spots where his quarterback can find him the football, but even on the scramble drills, you see Penix, especially rolling to the left or the right, you're going to see how Rome Odunze does misjudge it at times, and it doesn't give Penix the best window of opportunity to throw the football. But it isn't a great deal of cons, but he is very good in this sense, man. For grading purposes, everybody gets a grade score, and Rome Odunze is no different. 81.9% is my grade score for Mr. Odunze. He is that good, and surprisingly enough, like I told y'all, his grade is 0.08 or 0.8% higher than somebody like a Malik Neighbors, and that's just because of what they do today. Who has the higher ceiling in the NFL? I'm going to have to lean towards the explosive wide receiver in a Neighbors over Rome, but I do believe that he is so good, he does translate on the scouting reports that much better when it comes to your check boxes and what you're trying to do at their point of where they are today. This isn't a knock on either one of these gentlemen. I mean, we're talking splitting hairs of 0.8%, but it is better for Rome as I sit today. He is that good, he is that talented, and he will make y'all take notice. There you have it. That is Rome Odunze, Washington Huskies, like I'm saying, elite level wide receiver prospects, man. And I'm telling y'all, these guys are so good that if they do bust in the NFL, it's like you had to take a shot on them because they are so talented and they will bring a lot to your club. Day one starters without question. Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze all fit the bill to be a day one starter in the NFL, in my opinion. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments. Give me your thoughts. What are y'all thinking of Rome? Who's your top three out of Marvin, Malik, and Rome Odunze? Throw it in the comments. We can definitely talk it out, but we'll see you next time. I am out.